basically wine tasting is about what the wine reminds you of. So you're calling from your experiences in your life, eating, drinking, walking outside, walking through the woods, walking through a barn, any of those types of experiences to come up with descriptors for what you're tasting in the wine. It's about what it reminds you of. It's not necessarily that there's a blueberry in the wine per se, but it's about what those sort of aromas remind you of. And indeed, some of the compounds that we're smelling are repeated in nature. However, wine is a very complex mix of all different chemicals, so it all depends on what interacts with your perception. And so when you're tasting wine with someone else, it's fun because then you can sort of bounce what the wine reminds you of off of the other person, and they can say, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, or what are you talking about, that's crazy. And so it becomes a fun sort of interaction with whomever you're tasting wine with. Wine is not necessarily a wine or an experience that you have alone. It's best with multiple people, I think. So that's how I learned how to taste wine, was with another person, hearing what their reaction to the wine is. I don't generally taste every single barrel every day. It would be a little onerous. But what I do is take notes. When we're going through and tasting every barrel, we give a rating to the barrel. It's a plus, a minus, or a 0, meaning I really like this barrel, I don't like this barrel, or I'm neutral about this barrel. And both myself and the owner, Pete, go through and taste all of them. And that helps us to make blending decisions later. So with that rating, I can sort of group barrels together. I know which barrels I've liked in the past, and I know what I like this year, so it helps me to put it down on paper. Like I said, it is 2 lots that you're ending up blending to, so either it's going to the main lot or it's going into the reserve lot. So most of the time, those pluses get selected for the reserve, and either the neutral or the negative get blended together. And it's, when I say negative, it's usually not something that's wrong with the barrel. That gets a red flag. Something else is wrong with that wine. If it's a negative or a neutral, it means that it's not balanced in the barrel. It's too oaky, or there's something funny about that barrel that doesn't necessarily go with the rest of the lot. It's not necessarily that there's a flaw. So just to clarify that it's, we're still going to use that barrel in the blend. It's just to help me sort through which ones we really liked versus the ones that we were sort of ho-hum about or didn't really like.